Hello, everybody. Talking about the demand forecasting. This is one of the challenges, especially for our friends who started their journey in demand planning recently. So when we are talking about the demand planning and demand forecasting, there is one important thing to be considered. It is the underlying behavior of the data that we can get from our sales, from our consumption. So once you have the data, you have to check what is the underlying behavior in this data. Maybe you have some data with the trend, which refers to a long-term upward or downward movement in the data, which means with the time passing, our data is increasing, or our sales is increasing, in other words, or it's decreasing. One very famous example of trend data, if we have the population shifts and change incomes, etc. And maybe this is also the data underlying behavior is considered with the seasonality, refers short-term, fairly regular variation, generally related to factors such as calendar or time of day. For example, if you have one restaurant which is next to one factory, this restaurant should have a very maybe high request during the exit time of the employees who are taking their meals, etc. And maybe there is a regular variation or cycles. In this very short video, we are talking about the data with trend, which is maybe very common in many industries. So if we have data with trend like this one, during the recent years, for example, we have since 2001 till 2010, these our recorded sales. We are selling cars, for example. Fortunately, we have cars. So if we use this data to make the diagram, the chart will be like this one. It's exactly this data. When we make the chart, it will be accordingly, which refers to upward movement. And this is the trade line. Here we can see this underlying behavior of this data. So we have a data with a trend upward or downward. In this case, how can we predict for the next period, for example, or a future period, as we will explain? What you have three options. One of them is using this equation, which is y or f1, which means that the forecasting for 2011 will be a plus b times x. Simply here, a it's called the intercept, and b it is the we can say the slope, times the x, it's referred to the period that you wanna to make the forecasting for it. Very simply, just you have to use the data to applying this equation. But there is a one very important question: how can we get the a and b? We can get x. It's very simple. That it's the period we need. Thanks for Excel, there is we can say ready-made functions that can help us to reach the a, which is the intercept, and b, which is the slope. We use Excel function. Here we can say that we want to get a, which is intercept function, intercept, this one, okay. Known wise, this our demand or our actual demand during the last periods, okay. Then we go to known x, it's the periods we have. Great. This is the first step. Here we get the intercept. Also, in order to get the slope, it's very simple. Slope, okay. And known wise, this is known wise, our actual demand. And known x, this is our periods we have. Clear, okay. Now you get it. How can you solve it? Let's go and apply this function. It's equal to a, it's the intercept, okay, plus the summation of, or plus the b slope times x, it's the period number 11, enter, and then you get the forecasting for period number 11. Okay, very simple. you have the function and you get these required component or figures that you need, like A and B, and then you applied it. And this is one of three options that you can use in order to predict or make the forecasting for this period. Suppose you wanna to predict your sales in 2031. Now this is your forecast because it's old example. It's okay, no problem. But now you wanna to make forecasting for your sales during 2031. What you have to is to apply the same. It's A, okay, times B slope times our period, this one. In order to be in the safe side, let's make our brackets, and here we go. You get your forecasting. Maybe there is a mistake here. Yes, because we used times. It's plus, not times. Clear? So if the situation continue the same, you are expected to your sales to be 2,223 for the next years, exactly in 2031. This is very short and simple how to use the simple linear equation in order to make the forecasting for the data which has a trend. Hope it can help some of us, especially our newcomers. And thank you so much. This is Ismail Nassar, and hope see you in the next videos. Till that moment, take care and bye bye for now.